Well, good evening, everybody. And look, we have got a full house tonight. Look at this. Don Keith, all the way from the United States. Give a massive round of applause for Don Keith.
Hey, folks.
Howard Cox, the man who has saved. How much money have you saved the British public, Howard?
Just a few, Bob.
Come on, don't be shy.
200 billion is the actual figure, but the impact on the economy is much bigger. Yeah.
200 billion, folks, right? Howard Cox, 200 billion. The fact that you can go on holiday to Spain still is down to Howard Cox, because that's what it works out like. If every single family got a share of that 200 billion, that is serious amounts.
I'll tell you what, Howard, if I was you, I'll be looking at 1% of that. I think you'd be all right then, wouldn't you?
Well, that's the problem.
At least.
And I've earned bugger all out of any of this, you see.
It's cost you money.
I think, Howard, see when Ben's Prime Minister, which we're going to talk about tonight.
Obviously.
When Ben's Prime Minister.
The sooner the better.
I'm going to recommend you for the New Year's honours list. So Howard Cox.
Yeah.
Lord Cox of...
You'll probably have to get me out of jail.
Or wherever you want to be looked up. Paul's either had a stroke or he's frozen. You froze there, Paul. I thought you'd had a stroke, mate. Still, it's smoking all those fags.
Just a bit of both. Richard, listen, for all the viewers watching, right? I don't know how many's on because we're streaming this from your channel, but I'm not happy with you.
There's five viewers so far.
I'm not happy, Richard. I mean, I've not even had a chance to do me hair or take me motorcycle top off.
You look gorgeous. You look beautiful.
You look as good as ever, Paul. I know you're fishing for compliments, Paul. We're going to give you them anyway.
Mate,
you're looking absolutely amazing.
I need to sort me barnet out, mate. But there you go.
Well, Anyway, so Paul, what's been happening, Paul? What have you been up to?
I've been on the phone all day, one way or another, with different bits and pieces going on in the background, all positive, all good. We've got lots of good things going on in the background. So I don't know what this word retirement means. I've been busy at a day. I think I've had the busiest day today that I've had in the last year, but my phone has run out of battery twice.
Well, Paul, you'll get all the rest you need when you're dead, mate. There's no such thing as retirement for guys like you. It's as simple as that. You know
exactly.
Don, what's been happening? It's ages since we spoke. What have you been up to?
Oh man, I'm getting ready for this Unite the Kingdom event right now, man.
When's that? What's that?
That's something I don't know. September something. I'm not really sure.
Oh, that thing on the 13th. Yes,
September 13th, man. That's where it's going to be. It's going to be happening. But I've just been trying to be as vocal as possible right now and get the word out about what's going on in your country. We got kind of a reprieve. We were kind of headed that way, and so now we have Trump in office, so we get a little breather. So right now I'm focusing on you guys as much as possible to help wherever I can, because I feel like you guys are sort of the litmus test right now for the West, and things are really popping off. And the way you go, I think, may be the way the rest of Europe goes. So we got to save Great Britain, man. We got to save the UK. That's our motherland. That's where we all came from here in the States. So, got to hold on to that freedom, got to hold on to Christianity, and we got to make sure it stays free. Got to stop the boats, stop the immigration, stop all the trans nonsense, and just bring it back home to freedom, man. That's what we have to do.
Well, do you know what, Don? I've been doing this since 2000. Well, I've been doing it before that, but officially since 2017, and I have never been as optimistic. And obviously we've got a lot of battles to fight ahead of us without a shadow of a doubt. Mm-hmm. But I think God's on our side, and the reality is we're in the right. And I think Ben Habib is a man that is chosen for this time and this place. I mean, man, I spoke to him for an hour this afternoon. Did an interview with him for an hour, and I hit him with questions from every angle. Yeah. And he absolutely smashed every single one of them out of the ballpark. Mm-hmm. And I went away actually thinking I'm more hopeful, because I've always believed that Ben. I've said it from the first day I met him. I've always believed that Ben was a very, very special individual. And just a unique person, to be honest with you. In some ways, and probably both of them will hate me for saying this, but in some ways, like Tommy, he's got that sort of one-to-one personality where he can just win people over. And what people don't realize about Tommy Robinson does that as well. And Ben and Tommy have they've both got that. So they've got the likability factor. I'm a horrible old git, right? But they've got the likability factor.
I was going to say, Richard, actually, out of all these wonderful people, you're the only dislikable one amongst us.
I know, mate. I know. But you know, it is what it is. You know,
can I just say,
a Bond villain in every movie, hasn't there?
Can I just say to Don and to Howard, and I want to say this publicly, a massive thank you from everyone. First of all, Howard is just the consummate gentleman, and I'm very proud to call Howard a friend. I mean that sincerely. I wouldn't just be saying it. Everyone needs a mate like Howard. He's such a top guy. And Don, what you're doing over there for us here in the UK, I hope everyone in this country appreciates you, your friendship and your integrity towards the United Kingdom. You are an honorary Brit as well as an American, my friend.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, I get a lot of warm welcomes, and thank you.
We love you for it, Don. Thank you so much, brother.
Yeah, absolutely. It's my pleasure, man.
It means a lot to us.
It's my pleasure, man. If we can save you, we can save the West. You know what I mean? So that's what it's all about. We got to all stick together. We're all Christians. We're proud Christians. And those, this is part of our movement who aren't Christians, but they're conservatives and they love freedom. So we love them too. We want to make sure freedom and liberty, man, that's what it's all about. We have to keep the West alive. That's it.
Absolutely. Well done and well said. Yeah. But I wanted to say that publicly because
thank you, man.
Honestly, what you do, is amazing. And as I said, I want to give Howard every credit because I don't believe that sometimes people like yourselves get enough credit. I mean, I know you do get credit, but it's not enough for me. You guys deserve knighthoods for me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I wasn't joking about that when I said that, get Howard Cox, an honour when Ben's Prime Minister. Oh, I mean that. I mean, at the same time as we're sending our ex-prime ministers to the Tower of London, for treason. Do you know what? I mean, that's why I can never be involved in making policy because I would have them all in the Tower of London, and I would bring back the guy with the hood and the big axe. Do you know what I mean? That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, that'd be my.
Can I just say one thing? I've already been given the award by Paul Thorpe because he said that I was everyone's favourite granddad on a particular thing. I know that, but you bugger! Don't tell him my bloody age.
Do you know what?
I never guessed, Howard.
I'm just going to say something here, right? I'm the guy hosting the show. And Paul's throwing all these compliments to Don and to Howard, and all he does is insult me.
I made a bloody video about you. What's up with you?
You never come to me as a friend.
Oh,
I'm the godfather of this show tonight, Paul. It's my hot seat. I've got my England shirt on. Give me some love, man.
God, I love you, Richard. You know that.
That's all right. That'll do. Anyway, enough of that smooch stuff.
I was going to tell you, Paul. I appreciate all the kind words, but man, the appreciation for me is when I make a post or I retweet one of you guys or someone else, and someone somewhere on that timeline. It happens all the time. I switch to Advanced UK. I've had people say because of what you said, I've switched to Advanced UK. I've had that multiple times. So to me, that's all the appreciation. And if I can make a difference, if you guys can make a difference, if I can help to make a difference, that's all I need, man. And I see it happening every day. I really do. So
sorry guys, I think what is important that everyone understands, that everyone that does what we do, Richard and ourselves, and is that we give people hope as well. We give them something to hold on to. We let them know that they're not alone, that they're not fighting this on their own, that there'll be people watching this at home right now on their own with no one else necessarily in their lives.
Mm-hmm.
And we're the closest they've got to a friend. And that's really important because we've been going
100%.
through some bad times here.
Mm-hmm.
And we got worse to come, I believe. So, it's very important.
Yeah,
that's an understatement, Paul. Worst, we are in the shit in this country.
Yeah. But do you know what, Howard? This is where the men are men and sheep are nervous because we come out swinging. Whenever our backs are against the wall, we don't just go, "That's all right. I'm gonna roll over." We just come out swinging, and anybody gets in our way, they get knocked down. As simple as that.
Mm-hmm.
We're not gonna let these people win. We're not gonna let these. And it's been very interesting how many things are getting exposed and how these hidden things that have been hidden for years. Like, I mean, we all knew about the I was amazed the other day when I saw Alex Phillips and Isabel Oakeshott. I'd never heard of the Fabian Society. I just couldn't believe that. I mean,
oh my God, it's terrible.
Yeah.
They're all your labor are Fabian society.
Yeah.
Keir Starmer is the worst of the Fabians. He's a Pabloist. He's a Trotskyist.
Yeah.
The worst of the Fabians is Keir Starmer. They don't believe they want to abolish private property. They want to separate the family unit. They want to bring take people God out of the family. Government is God. Redistribution of wealth. Workers own the means of production. The whole spiel is the Fabian society. They are the scourge of government in the United Kingdom.
Yeah,
and they're doing it. I mean, the thing is, it's not like they're actually doing it. You know what they're planning on doing, Don? They're planning on taxing at 40%. If I sell my house, if this budget goes through, what they're planning on doing, they're planning on taxing the profit I make on my house at 40%. So you can never move on. You could never move to another house. So the housing market, they're going to completely collapse the housing market. That's what they're planning on doing.
They're collapsing Richard, they're collapsing the goddamn country. Let's have it right. They're collapsing everything. But interesting today, I don't know what you're going to talk about tonight, but it's very interesting with the developments of Angela Rayner's tax advisors tonight.
Yeah. I mean, well, I mean, this is the thing, Don. Do you not agree? This is socialism. This is the redistribution of wealth. What the socialist governments do is they take the money off normal people and give it to themselves. They don't give it to the poor people. They steal it and they keep it from themselves. That's what socialists do.
Yeah, 100%. And then what they do is they bring in all these immigrants from the third world country because there's a lot of globalist corporatists involved in this whole thing too, right? Because you're bringing in the immigrants, you're bringing in a new consumer base, you're bringing in a new voting bloc for the politicians, which, by the way, they're all poor, so they're going to have to increase taxes, which is a windfall for the government. So all these things combined is what you're seeing now with the immigration and the whole spiel. It's all Marxists and globalists working together with Islam as well, because for Islam, all of these other folks, the globalists, labor, the woke mob, they're all useful idiots. And if Islam ever gets in and takes power, they'll be the first to go because they are secretly abhorred the most by Islam, based on the teachings of the Quran, as you well know. So, yeah, man, it's something's got to be done. But I feel like we're at the Overton window is shifting so fast right now, man. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it shift so fast in your country from what it was.
You know what's happened?
A year ago.
I'll tell you what's happened, Don, and this is people can quote me on this. Tommy Robinson has taken a breeze block and thrown it straight through the Overton window. That's what's happened in this country. He's lifted a breeze block above his head and just thrown it straight through a double glazed Overton window. So the Overton window's smashed. It's like it's everything's changed and everything's changing. And the media can't stop us. The mainstream media are trying to stop us. They won't be able to. There's an army of people that are just and this is where we've got to be extremely careful. And I want to say this about the 13th, right? So there's a lot of people will be watching the chat going on the 13th. If you're coming to the 13th and you're planning on doing anything stupid, if you're planning on putting a mask on, if you're planning on doing some sort of pathetic protest, the protest is going to the march, listening to the speeches, going for a couple of beers afterwards, having a nice time, making some friends and going home. That's the protest. There's no other show in town. So if you're planning on going to that protest and doing anything silly, well, you're a traitor. You're a traitor to the country. You're a traitor to the United Kingdom. You're a traitor to the movement. You're going to absolutely wreck everything that we've been doing for years. So my message to everybody that's going, and now, this isn't me talking like anybody's going to do anything crazy, but this is just my message to everybody that's going. Don't wear masks. Behave absolutely impeccably. Think about how your granddad that stormed the beach of Normandy would feel if you went into London and made an absolute ass of yourself and did something stupid and spoiled a demo with maybe 1 million people in it, right?
Yeah.
So if you're going and you're thinking of doing something stupid, either don't go or go and behave yourself and be sensible, because you're not being a hero. You're not going to make a name for yourself. You're going to make yourself infamous and you're going to make a fool of yourself. And you probably get a slap off one of the lads as well. So just wind your necks if anyone's planning on doing anything stupid, and go to that demo and have a great day. Show how good the British people are. We're not the sort of people that spit in the police's faces and attack police officers. We will go there and we'll be peaceful, and that's our job on the 13th. Our job is to go there and have a great day, make some friends, shoot some great video, capture the atmosphere, enjoy the love of those events, and then go home happy. No matter what else is going on with the left, even no matter what's going on with the police, we do not react.
And be proud to be one of that lot.
That lot, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We don't want to see Richard.
Show Richard Tice what that lot really are.
We don't want to see Richard get another thumb in the eye. So everybody behave.
Listen, I've got my there's an old mate I used to do martial arts with years ago, and we've reconnected, and we're doing some pretty good stuff in on the punch bags and on pads and stuff. So listen, I'm ready for someone sticking a thumb in my eye. You know,
Don, what it is, we have a deputy PM and a housing minister at the moment who's in a state of confusion. She's confusing other people's money with her own. That's what she's doing, right? So, you know, I think Nigel Farage is sticking up for her this afternoon. And
I saw that.
And I wonder why.
Exactly. Nigel, we've got our eyes on you, Nigel. We know what you've been up to. It's all going to come out. It's all going to come out.
Did you guys see the what Jess Phillips said? The fact that she had known and had already been told that police officers were actual perpetrators in the grooming gangs. Did you see that today?
I haven't seen that. No.
Okay, so I posted about it. Elon retweeted me today about that. But what happened was Jess Phillips came out today and said that she had already known. She said, I would be lying if I said that these young girls who had been abused hadn't already told me that police weren't just complicit. They were actual perpetrators in these grooming gangs. Wow. Is what she said today. It was huge news today. It was all over X. It was a big thing. But yeah, so basically she's known all this time, and she was one of the ones who tried to block a national inquiry along with the rest of labor. So if she knew beforehand why all these girls were being abused by police, where are the arrests? First of all, why haven't we seen anyone's arrest? And I checked. No police officers have been charged or arrested as perpetrators in these grooming gangs. That has not happened. And if she knew that beforehand, why was she trying to block a national inquiry? She needs to resign in shame, if you ask me.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, the thing is about the reality is when we did the investigations in Telford, and I mean we did an amazing team up there, you know, and digging into all sorts of stuff. We found a Pakistani Muslim mafia that ran from Glasgow down to Oxford, right? It was everywhere. Lawyers, politicians, businessmen. It was just every single town and city, and they were all connected. And we found all the connections. We went to the National Crime Agency. Actually, I think Tommy did. I think Tommy either Tommy or one of the lads went to the National Crime Agency, phoned them up, said, "We've got all this information. What do you want us to do with it? It's nothing to do with us. Send it to the local police force." Took it to the local police force. They weren't interested. So what does that say about the absolute corruption? This should actually mean that anybody that's been involved in frontline politics in the Labour Party or the Conservative Party or the Lib Dems should never get in office ever again. Because the reality is it was under their watch that all this happened. This has been going on for at least 30 years.
Surely, guys, what we're heading to ultimately here is, I mean, look, in the background somewhere, I'd imagine that a lot of these politicians are trying to clear their cache, right? They're trying to delete their history, right? But ultimately, somewhere along the line, we're heading for a mass trial. It has to be, surely, an investigation, an inquiry, and at the end of that inquiry and the investigation, surely there's got to be a lot of people that end up in the dock over this.
Well, that's what supposedly the public inquiry is about it. Today, Esther McVeigh, who's one of our Conservative MPs that's still there, we asked a question of Jess Phillips. And Jess came back, she said, "What's the status of the public inquiry?" And I'm afraid she gave the most pathetic answer. Yes, it's going ahead. Doing this, there was no facts, no details of where it was or what's going on whatsoever. I mean, as you know, Rupert Lowe's got his own one going on with the Restoration of Britain one, and Rupert Lowe's on the same page as Ben and the Advance UK Party, and he's doing much more in terms of the public inquiry. And he's about to release information about the things that which GB News, to be fair to them, and Charlie Peters, found out with 50 cities across the whole of the UK, what. I mean, and as I've said to you many times, to Richard and to Paul, I couldn't believe, because I was threatened with expulsion from Reform, just to get everyone to know, listening to this, by a Reform Party because of my support for Tommy Robinson. And, and I couldn't believe that they would do that, because I stood in London for London Mayor, as you know, and I stood for an MP down in Dover and came second down there with 24% of the vote. But all of it, I could not believe, and that's the reason why Ben was thrown out and Rupert was treated badly by Reform. Basically revolves around the fact for our support for people like Tommy. And, and thanks to Paul, he arranged for me to visit Tommy in jail. And I spent 2 hours talking to Tommy. And as I said to you before, he was an absolute inspiration to me. I was not aware of a lot of this, and what he did motivated what I'm doing now. And I should be just looking after motorists and the cost of filling up their tank. But I'm afraid I'm now in the centre of bloody politics, and I'm on the College of Ben with Ben Habib. So like Paul is.
Good for you, man. I just sent you that video, Richard. If you can put it up, you want to try to put it up?
Yeah, let's have a look.
It's on your WhatsApp.
On WhatsApp right now. That might be a problem. But
what do you guys think what do you think Rupert's going to do? You think he's going to eventually come on board with Advance, or what? I know he's got his own movement, but what do you think he's going to do party wise?
Well, I'm privy to a bit of information. I'm quite close to Rupert, but Rupert won't do it. You've got to understand that when he stood for MP, he stood on Reform. Okay, as a party member, Reform. And then because the way they treated him, he left Reform and he's an independent. If he suddenly goes to Advance UK now, his constituents might say, hey, what's going on? What does he stand for? And so I think it's a question of timing. It will happen. I reckon within 12 months. I can assure you that Ben and Rupert are talking on a regular basis.
I feel like if his constituents are independent, wouldn't they? You think maybe eventually they would kind of go with him, because they're probably on the same frame of mind as him as far as politically, maybe or no.
Well, yes, there's no doubt about it. He's loved in Great Yarmouth.
Yeah, I like Rupert. I've spoken to him a few times on in private, but yeah, he's.
My view is somewhat different. I think
mine too. You go first, Paul, because we've both got a similar view.
I think Rupert should stand firmly next to Ben, join Advance. If there needs to be a by-election, then so be it. I think he would win again, and he will become Advance's first MP. But I would like to see him. I'm going to use the expression, stop dilly-dallying, stand with Ben like the rest of us are, and give us what we need. We need unity, and we need the soldiers, the political soldiers, to stand up together and be as one. So Rupert,
I agree.
Oh, you're dead right. But Ben actually wanted Rupert to be the leader of Advance UK.
Yes, he did, yeah.
So to be fair to him, because Ben didn't, he didn't expect to be the leader, and they were talking for a period of time before, Rupert's decided to go for a movement, restore Great Britain. Fair enough, that's okay, that sort of thing. But there's nothing to separate them in what we want to achieve.
No, exactly. But we already have a movement. We have the United Kingdom, and I would just like to see Rupert side by side.
Yeah, my take's a little bit more radical, and that's probably why I must not ever be involved in policy making. But the my issues this. I think there's a few young guns round Rupert, and I think they've got in his ear, and I'm going to name them: Charlie Downs and Harrison Pitt. This is what I think, and it's from what they've said. I'm not accusing them of doing anything sneaky or anything underhand. These are from statements they've made in the media. I think they want to have some sort of an alliance between the Reform Party and the Conservative Party. Charlie Downs has said he doesn't think there's any place for another party. He speaks, let's just say, with veiled contempt when he talks about Tommy Robinson. Now, don't get me wrong. I think Charlie Downs is a great communicator and great speaker. But at the end of the day, when I believe I'm seeing something, I will call it out. And that's what I believe I'm seeing. I believe that the direction of travel for Restore is towards the Conservative Party, probably the right-wing rump, if there is such a thing, and an alliance between the Tories and the Reform Party to try and win the next election. Now, to me, that would be a disaster. I think the only way we can do this and have a clean break is for Advance to actually win a clear, massive, like you said to me that time, Don, before the presidential election. Don said to me, he says, Richard, we've got to make this too big to rig. And that's what we've got to do in the UK. And we've got to do that with Ben. Yeah. Wilders tried it. Wilders tried it in Holland with a coalition. Didn't work.
Doesn't work.
It'd be exactly the same. It'd be exactly the same in the UK. We have got to have a position where Ben Habib is the prime minister, clearly, which means we've got to wrap Ben Habib in cotton wool, put him in a little glass case, and leave him on a shelf until 2029.
What I see with Charlie, and look, he's someone that is on our side, if that's the right expression. But I see a young man who probably believes in his own mind that one day he could be prime minister.
I think so.
And that he knows, right? He's already being a very good politician in the respect that he's been a very good politician.
That's not what we need, is it, Paul? We don't.
No, it's not what we need. We don't need a good politician. We need a leader.
Churchill was not a good politician. Churchill was a good leader,
exactly.
And that's what we need. And I honestly think Ben is just a 1 in a million type person. I really do. I mean, look, I'm nobody, right? I'm just a guy that sits and makes dopey videos, right? But if I send Ben a WhatsApp about something, he gets back to me like within...
Same.
Yeah. Now,
that day. I spoke to him today. I sent him a WhatsApp. Within 10 minutes, he returned my message.
Yeah.
I've been speaking to him 2 minutes before we come on the show.
Yeah.
The man is made out of...
Yeah, he's
he always has to go... Howard, he always has to go one better, that Thorpe, doesn't he? He always has to go one better.
He's name dropping now.
But
Howard's gonna say he's in the other room.
Yeah, Howard's got an earpiece in a
Ben, go away. I'm sorry, I didn't speak. I spoke to him yesterday. So,
come on, Howard. Well, I just drop him off the channel now. Come on, Howard.
Well, we were talking about certain people that were stirring it a bit behind the scenes, which is, and there were people doing things who want to, they're insisting on they want senior roles in the party. And this is what I love about what Ben's created, is because everyone is equal. There's no egos. Everyone is doing the right thing. And the college is absolutely unique in the sense that, people on it are going to be dictating policy. And if Ben doesn't perform, we chuck him out. And that's the wonderful thing. And that's what Ben wants. It's what I want. Damn well reform's not like that because that's run by two dictators. And what we're seeing with what Ben is trying to do is phenomenal. And people are believing it. And we're virtually on 30,000 paid members now, which is wonderful. In the space of 8 weeks, it took 5 years for reform to get to that. So that's worth thing. And UKIP have only got 3,000 or 4,000. So we are absolutely motoring, and to use my parlance of my campaigning, we are driving right away to the right direction.
Well, that's one of the things. I posted a video today, maybe this morning, where I talked about the difference in the trajectories of reform and Advance and how far ahead Advance already is of where reform was at their point after two months. June the 30th is when Advance UK was formed, and 2 months later they've already got the endorsement of Elon Musk. It took reform 3 years to get that. I think roughly a year ago, Elon was kind of circling, checking out reform, seeing if they were going to be the party that would change Great Britain. And of course, it didn't take him very long to figure out that they weren't. When you've got Nigel Farage taking every opportunity he can to bash Tommy Robinson, or either he says it's impossible to deport immigrants, or either we're gonna are we gonna get transgenders out of women's spaces? No, we're gonna do that on a case-by-case basis. Elon's a smart guy. He's a super smart guy. He can see the weakness. I mean, you don't get to where you're at as Elon Musk and not be smart enough to read people. And he immediately was able to read Nigel and distance himself from reform. And then he sees Advance UK within 2 months. He's like the rest of us. He looks at what Ben Habib says, very direct. Ben says, I want men out of women's spaces, period. I want all illegal immigrants deported, period. He doesn't beat around the bush. He's not out here floundering to try to appease the obscure population that's never going to vote for him anyway. He knows what the people need. He knows what Great Britain needs, and that's what he says. And that's why I think Ben Habib is the guy right now.
Well, do you know what? There's so much right in that, Don. And I think the other thing about Ben is, one, the fact that he is half Pakistani is a massive advantage. I mean, it's like a superpower, and I'll tell you why. Because who can actually challenge Ben and say you're a racist bigot, wanting to deport all these Afghans and Pakistanis?
They probably will.
Yeah, they will. Of course they will. Of course they will. Of course they will. Of course they will. But the point is, it gives them a certain amount of invincibility when they try and level that accusation. They'll level other accusations out. So that's a. The other thing is he's got a way of communicating really hard truths in a way that doesn't make him sound like Mussolini. I mean, there's certain people in politics over here, and like I mean, they're just like El Dolce. Do you know? You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's a gentleman. He really is a gentleman.
He's an absolute gent. He's an absolute gent. And
Roosevelt said, "Talk softly and carry a big stick," and I think that's kind of the way Ben operates.
100%.
He walks softly and carry a big stick.
He is going to carry the whole nation.
Can you guys imagine how Ben would get on with Trump?
Oh, fantastic!
Well, they'd be like best buddies in 5 minutes.
And I tell you who I think he'd get on even better with, JD Vance.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
because JD's a very similar personality to Ben.
Yeah,
very quiet, very polite, but again, just his tongue just is like a laser beam cutting through that German minister, whatever he was, prime minister or chancellor, where he was. He literally cried after JD Vance gave a speech. He actually sat and wept on the platform.
The feminization of the West.
Richard, you got a few super.
I know. Let's go through these super chats, guys, very quickly. Let's go through these. Alan Bastard, Don, you probably won't know who Alan Bastard was, right? Alan Bastard was a fake Tory MP created by Rick Mayall, who's an absolutely brilliant comedian. He was a lefty, but he was a funny lefty, right? And that was a TV show that ran for about 10 years in the 1980s and early 90s. So Alan Bastard has now joined Advance UK. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but I know you're not the real Alan Bastard. But I love the real Alan Bastard anyway. So well done, great stuff. This tonight, big love, Richard, and we are putting Ben in number 10. Amen to that. That is happening. That is 100% happening. And people are going to be saying, Richard, you've totally lost your mind. No, I haven't. It's going to happen. I'm not a prophet or a son of a prophet, but I'm prophesying on this. Ben Habib is going to be the next British. He's going to be prime minister at the next election.
Well,
we might have two or three prime ministers before then.
One of the things I said today is people aren't taking into account the massive. Elon Musk is the world's largest, most influential billboard. Period. He's got 225 million followers, and he is just pounding right now. Advance UK. Now, if you take that type of advertisement over the next 4 years, you don't think that Advance UK can overcome Reform, who at the same time, Elon's who he, I think, detests at this point. He's going to be just pouncing them all day long while building up Advance UK. You don't think that's going to affect Advance UK and their numbers? You've lost your mind.
Absolutely.
It's phenomenal. And the thing is about Elon's, I think it was his granny was from Liverpool. She was a working class lass from Liverpool who he said she used to clean houses and stuff. And, so he saw her as an equivalent of the vulnerable young women that's been groomed. And he obviously loved his granny to bits. And that's what people don't understand about Elon. He's driven because it's personal for him.
I'll tell you what, guys, every cloud has a silver lining. And what this has done, certainly, I mean, look, I've always known that we have a great relationship with the American people, and I've been over there enough myself to see that. But I don't even think I realised how close we are with our cousins across the pond there. Because the way they sticking up for us, the way they've got our backs, is very humbling, And God forbid, I'm sure that if they ever needed it, we'd be the same.
Yeah.
But it's been remarkable the way the American people have supported us and got behind us and have got our backs is just beautiful to see. It's beautiful.
Well, the reason that is, Paul, is we've already been where you're at. The tyranny that you guys are facing right now, I think, is worse than what we faced in 1776 when we parted ways. I 100% believe that. So we understand British tyranny as well as anybody. So that's why we're looking out for our brothers and sisters and cousins over there in the UK, because we know what it's like to face that tyranny. We have a history of British government tyranny upon us, and so we understand and we can sympathize. And again, it's where we all came from, so we have that ancestry there.
Absolutely.
And it really is.
I was just going to say, what did people think of Farage standing in the Oval Office today next to Trump?
Trump, who didn't stand to take a picture with him. Did you notice that? He didn't bother to stand.
He looked like he looked like a waiter, didn't he? He looked like Donald Trump's waiter.
Yeah, concierge.
What an opportunist, eh?
Yeah. Oh man,
Yeah, I thought that was funny, man. That was the first thing I noticed.
Sufferfish, thanks for the super chat. Rumble hiding Tommy's Russell Brand video. That's worrying. That's very worrying. Need to find out about that. I'll find out. That's not good. Paul, get rid. Why so dim is trolling? But that must be in the other comments. We'll have a look at that in a bit. Bob Hunter, Stoicism is an ancient Greek and Roman philosophy focused on achieving a virtuous and tranquil life by cultivating self-control, reason, and a peace through acceptance of what is beyond one's control. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I think when you do this movement for a certain amount of time, you have to become a Stoic. Either that or you end up in a mental institution. So, because we have fought some battles and we're going to fight some more. So, thanks for that, Bob. And thanks for the super as well. That's massively appreciated.
I think you've missed a few right at the very start, actually, Richard.
No, I put them on the screen. I didn't read them out. So okay. We'll go back to them. We'll get through to the bottom of these, and then because I don't want to break up the chat too much. We'll go back to them. Kenny Wilson, I spent £80 on the train to come down from Glasgow on the 13th, but heard stories of rail underground works going on that day. I'm now coming by bus on Friday night to be safe. Anyone know what's going on? Now, I've heard there's been a lot of rumours going out about trains and stuff. Yeah. I don't think it's as serious and as bad as people are making it out to be. But if you're coming on the bus, you should be absolutely fine, Kenny. Get yourself down. Obviously, the pack drill. I'm going to put out another video in the next couple of days showing where everybody's got to be to get to the form up point. I'll just do a little street view video of where we've got to be, and I'll make it look nice and pretty. Instead of the one I did with Tommy the other day. Tommy had 2 hours sleep. I was knackered, so it probably wasn't most coherent video that either of us have done. And I've just done an hour with Paul and David Vance as well. So I am going to do that again on my own because I think I've got a good idea of exactly what's happening now. So it's all good. So yeah, you'll be fine, Kenny. As long as you're down there on Friday, nobody worry. Listen. The day should be absolutely fine. I mean, nobody can ever guarantee anything 100%, but there's been a lot of planning gone into it. We're going to be speaking to the police again next week. Everything's good. Everything's good. So there's nothing to worry about at the minute. Okay. Bob Hunter, us old farts stand with the young, the old, and the vulnerable. You can't pull the wool over our eyes anymore. Working class men and women shall defeat. Yes, absolutely. I think that's very important. No matter what party wins the next election, that lot, in other words, us lot, have got to be honoured by that party, and I think that's why the only party that will truly do that is I think is Advance. I don't think any other party that can win this election is going to treat the working class people of Britain how they deserve to be treated, because they've been treated like absolute the scum of the earth by the establishment for far too long.
100%. I talked about earlier the Overton window moving really fast. I think the Overton window has moved so fast that reform is now left of the Overton window. I really do, because people, they want a Trumpian figure to be their leader, someone who's not afraid to speak his mind about the issues like the immigration, like the transgender nonsense, and all the things that you guys are dealing with right now. I feel like the British people are hungry for that. When you hear Nigel Farage say it's an impossibility to deport all legal immigrants or get rid of immigration, or we're going to do transgenders case by case basis, and then the British people look across the ocean and they see that Trump came into office and took a border that was being flooded under Joe Biden, 10,000 people per day. Donald Trump took down to 0 within a few months. And then they hear Nigel say, oh, it's an impossibility. They don't want to hear that. Then you see Trump signing executive orders to ban transgenders from women's spaces. And he's putting all these pressures on school to remove federal funding. If they don't do it, guess what? It all went away. So it can be done. So for them to listen to Nigel say it can't be, they don't want to hear that. They want somebody like Ben who says, yes, it will be done and it can be done. That's what I want to see done.
And Ben said to me today, I said, when's this going to happen, Ben? He said, day one. Everything's, as soon as we get into power, we're going to pass a raft of legislation that is going to put everything right. And it's exactly what you want to hear. And of course, Nigel suffers from Islamophilia. He's got a strange, weird love of Islam, right? Mm-hmm. And he was getting these guys into his party, £25,000 a table. Apparently, that's what we heard. That was reported in the press, that Muslim businessmen were sitting down. But if they got to sit down with Nige, it cost them 25k. So what is going on in that party? Because look, I mean, at the end of the day, Ben is no Islamophobe by any means. I spoke to Ben's have got a very sensible and balanced idea of what to do, right? Mm-hmm. Ben's against extremism. He's not against people. But the truth of the matter is that, to me, Reform sold its soul to Mohammed Zia Yusuf and to, to some sort of strange Islamophilic, fantasy, that everything's going to be okay. It's not going to be okay.
I just think he fears it, like everyone else, in Westminster. They fear it.
I was going to say, I don't fear it, Paul. I mean, I just despise it. I don't despise the people, but I despise the ideology, and I will say that even if they make it illegal to say that.
I think he loves the votes. That's what I think. I think they all cater to Islam because of the votes. That's what it's all about.
And that's where, guys, if you're watching this, and this is really important, every single person watching this video, you must join Advance. You must sign the pledge, and you must, more important than anything, make sure you're registered to vote. Because if you ain't got a vote, you've got no say in this. Doing something heroic is not, doing some sort of crazy stunt. We've done all that. All of us have done it. We've done stunts for years, right? Mm-hmm. It's great fun. It makes good videos. But the reality is the days of stunts are over. This is where us getting in the trenches is getting out on the doorsteps with leaflets, standing in cold city centres where there's hardly anybody about, handing leaflets out to people, talking to your mates in work and saying, you've got to join Advance. This is the only chance of saving our country. That's where the battle is. It's not in doing crazy stuff. It's in actually doing the hard graft of getting out there and forming a community around Advance and your Christian faith and claiming back, or your Christian culture, if people don't like the word Christian faith, your Christian culture, and claiming back that inheritance that we've lost. That's the only way we can do it. You're not going to do it through boots on the ground and battles and civil war. That's not going to work. Sorry, guys. If anyone thinks a civil war is a good idea, then you need to go and see a psychiatrist straight away. We can only do it through the ballot box. If the ballot box doesn't work, then we've got a problem. And we can, then all bets are off. But for now, our total focus has to be on 2029 and getting Advance. That's my focus now. Not interested in anything else. We've got to get Advance across the line in 2029.
I think it'll be sooner than 2029. I just don't believe. I would be saying about 2 to 3 years. I think 2028 is probably the area. I was talking to Ben about this, and he agrees on that one. And also in Advance UK, there's already 2,000 volunteers already going around doing exactly what you're saying, leaflets, and we're not even a party yet.
Yeah, I know.
And it's incredible. There's a hunger, and Don's got it dead right about this sort of thing. I was I was sold on Reform UK because I'm a conservative. I was a Thatcherite, all those sorts of things, and I was so disappointed. They've become like a chocolate teapot, and from my point of view, something like Reform was refreshing. And you said it, Richard. Advance UK is the party that Reform should have been. Never a truer word said. And when you can't do free speech, you can't actually do, and all the common things if you've got a penis, you've got a penis. If you've got a vagina, you've got a vagina. There's nothing else.
That's it.
Totally. And that's what Bob's saying here. How many how many transsexual sheep, monkeys, bulls? Well, some bulls do get things done to them, but that's for another reason, isn't it? Monkeys, bulls, or donkeys, do you know? None, because it's a psychiatric problem. There's no such thing as a
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, that is just the truth. And that truth will get you cancelled. And as Graham Lennon has found out, get your collar back.
Did you see, guys? Did you see today that our DOJ is now going to try to keep transgenders from owning guns or possessing guns because it is a mental disorder. Did you guys see that in the news today?
I haven't seen that.
It's a big deal too, because you know how we are about our gun rights. So you're probably going to see a lot of conservatives, I would imagine, not agree with this, just like several of us weren't.
I was going to say, what about the NRA? How would the NRA stand with that?
You know, it's hard to say. I think if they've got any common sense, they would say, well, yeah, because people with diagnosed mental disorders are not allowed to own guns in the United States, period. Yeah. The problem is we've gone from science has become so woke, and they've adopted this woke madness that they've gone away from the science where it used to be a mental disorder, and they won't call it that anymore because they're afraid of the woke mob. They don't want to be canceled as doctors and scientists. So the problem now is we have to remind people that it is indeed a mental disorder, and it has been for, I don't know how long, decades now. We've recognized it as a mental disorder until this wokeness tried to normalize it and force it all upon us. It's amazing to me that and it was supposed to be so rare, like 0.1% of the population were supposed to have gender dysphoria. It was so rare. And now if you look at Hollywood or any of these other celebrities, you see these celebrities have 2 and 3 kids each that are all transgender.
It's crazy.
And it's like Bill Maher said, if it's biological now, then why is it regional? You'll find all the transgenders in California and New York, but you won't go to the Midwest and Nebraska and find any.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's a good point.
There's not too many transgender in the Appalachian
I was going to say,
mountains.
funny thing is, where I used to live in Brighton, it was rife. But if you moved 20 miles to 20, 30 miles going up towards Essex, it's not the same.
Right.
No, it wouldn't have been, would it? Hazel Pethick, thanks for that super. Ben has PM written all over him. He'd make such an incredible PM. 100%. We all agree with that. Paul, thanks very much for that. Bess, Don, could you give me a lift in your helicopter on the 13th?
I wish I had a helicopter, man. I could trade in my Learjet and get a helicopter.
That's it. But I can send you a drone if that's okay, Bess. We'll get you a drone.
That's funny. Sorry, Bess. I'd love to help if I had a helicopter.
Bess is one of my top. No, sorry, one of my top 2 admins. Bess and Claire, the best admins in the land.
In the business, yeah.
In the business, absolutely. Paul finds out, Peter, love the old England shirt. It is an old one as well, because I'm old. That's why I've got an old England shirt, because I'm old. It's not 1996. It's not that old, Peter.
Is that a fashion statement, Richard, or a financial?
No, it's a flag statement, mate. Listen, I am proud Englishman, and obviously Northern Ireland, we put flags up everywhere. We paint the curbs, so we used to paint the curbstones. We used to hang flags off our houses. So we're kind of ahead of the curve when it comes to putting flags out. But I'm just so proud of all my English friends putting flags out. Andy Saxon, big shout out to Andy and all the other people that have been busily putting flags all over every single landmark that they can get their hands on. I think the flag thing is absolutely fantastic. What a perfect way of doing peaceful, respectful.
Yeah. And then you get unless you get arrested for putting up your flags, like I've been seeing this week, folks getting arrested just for raising the colors. It's or saying you love bacon.
It's probably a good job I'm in Spain, because I tell you what, if they're nicking you for putting up flags, I'd definitely be in jail.
The pokey, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just amazed. I didn't tell you this, Don. I had the police out. What was it? 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. And they came to my house and they said, because we do a protest outside a migrant hotel, been doing it for 2.5 years every Friday. Mm-hmm. And they came to my house and they were like, what are your intentions for the migrant protest? And I was like, well, we have no intentions. One, I don't organize it. We just turn up. So, but you speak at it. Yeah, I speak, but it doesn't make me the organizer, Mm-hmm. And of course, because I'm not the organizer. And so I said to him, I says, why is it necessary to come out to my house to do this? I says, you know where I am every Friday. You could come and talk to me on the street on Friday. You don't have to come and visit my house to talk to me about what our intentions are for the protest, So it was just intimidation, pure intimidation, Mm-hmm. The only reason a policeman should come to the house is either tell you that someone's died or arrest you. That's what I always thought policemen were there for.
Oh my God, it's amazing.
Oh dear. Hi guys, I'm ex-RAF regiment, gonna voted reform last year, just done advanced membership. Yes, come on, son. Well done, Neil. Well done, mate. Well done. Mate. Brilliant. Absolutely
awesome.
Fantastic.
That is awesome.
And look at all the people that are just, jumping on here tonight and doing this. We've got nearly 3,000 people watching this at 10 to 11. Sorry, 10 to 12, Paul.
Yeah, for me, yeah.
Don, what time is it where you are, mate? You're still bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
Yeah, it's only 5:50 here, man.
Oh, there you go, you see.
He's off down the pub next. So it's all
Yeah,
right.
he is. Yeah. No, his good lady wife is making him his dinner.
See, man, let me tell you, that woman can cook. That woman can cook.
So Paul, are you coming on the 13th, Paul?
I'm not coming back, mate. I fear that if I come back, I won't get through customs.
Oh no, really?
Yeah.
Well,
we discussed it a lot on last night's stream. The last 3 times I've come back through Gatwick, they've held me.
What? Why? What's the deal? Give me the short. I haven't even heard this.
Well, every time I come back into the UK, border control stick me in a room and leave me there. And I've just got a horrible feeling that next time they keep me there.
Do you know
So
what?
you're not going to be there on the 13th? You don't think?
Unfortunately, I'm not going to take the risk.
Don, I've told Paul so many times, do not put AK-47s in your hand luggage, and he just never listens.
Hey, just jump on one of the migrant boats, man.
Yes, get a dinghy. Get a dinghy, And what we could do, we could protest outside the hotel, and then I was going to say something. Then rescue you from the hotel.
It's a slightly longer story than that, Don. In the respect that a very good friend of ours, Danny, was the last one to go back to the UK, and the anti-terrorist unit held him for 6 hours.
I've met Danny. I think I've met Danny.
Yeah,
Big guy.
Danny. And frankly, I just feel they've got it in for us. So until this lot are out, until they're gone, I don't feel that I can safely come home.
That sucks, man. I hate to hear that.
Yeah,
we'll miss you.
It's the way it is. It's the way it is at the minute, and it's crazy because you're in a situation where you're having to be, thinking, is somebody going to come to the house, smash the door, and take all my electronic stuff away? I mean, that's literally the sort of state we're living in, Don. I mean, not because we've done anything wrong.
Don, I booked a flight a couple of weeks back to come home and changed my mind right at the last minute. Today is my eldest granddaughter's 13th birthday. And I would give anything to be back home with her today. My wife has flown home to be with her on her 13th birthday. I've had to stay here. That's how low we have gone. That's how low we have stooped now in the UK.
You could dress up. You could dress trans. I bet they wouldn't mess with you then. You could just get you a wig and a skirt.
I don't think I'd get away with it somehow. My wife's always said I'd never make a good trans.
Paul.
Is it worth you flying to somewhere like Ireland or something like that, and then driving across the border?
I've still got to show me passport somewhere. I mean, look, I haven't done anything wrong, Howard, but I just don't trust them.
I accept that. You're going to be sadly missed, my friend.
You
guys would be surprised at how many American influencers DM me and ask me, is it safe for them to go? Are they going to get arrested if they speak out? And I'm like, let me tell you something. If you get arrested for speech as an American in the UK and Keir Starmer's Gestapo arrest you, do you understand what kind of international incident that would be? Do you understand how bad Trump would skewer Keir Starmer if they start arresting Americans for speech in the UK? So I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think Keir Starmer's an idiot. He's a tyrant and a communist, but I don't think he's dumb. So I really don't think it's going to happen. So I tell everybody I'm going to go myself. I'm not going to.
He actually is really dumb. I mean, that's the problem. He's dangerous and he's dumb and he's evil. But I mean, I think he probably would. Try and arrest an American citizen.
Well, I feel for him if he does that.
So do I. I in a way, Don, I hope he does.
I think you're right, because Graham Lineham's Irish.
Yeah,
and he was arrested, wasn't he? So and that's the truth, by 5 policemen.
Yeah,
5 armed police.
There's a little bit different than arresting an Irishman than an American, because we're the world's bank, basically. So you don't want to piss off. And I'm not trying to brag because I'm American. I don't want this to come out wrong, because we're no better than anybody else as far as the country. But economically, we are as as far as economics go to countries. You know what I'm trying to say.
Politically,
yes.
it will be a disaster. I was going to say, slow down, lads, because Don will be tearing up his ticket in a minute.
No, I think Don would take the. I think Don would take the nicking. Don would take it and wear it as a badge of honor. Because he's not going to be, he's not going to be in jail very long. Because believe you me, as soon as the State Department find out there's an American citizen who's a patriot that's been locked up by Starmer's Stasi, it's all over for Starmer. I think it's all over for Starmer anyway.
Yeah, so they know it. Listen, they know it's all over. They know it's all over. They're going to grab whatever they can grab before they get kicked out.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
Exactly.
Well, all we got to do is get King Charles, because he can actually get rid of him. Yeah, he's the only thing that can do that. But of course, he is, as we know, he's already into Islam big time, so he won't do it.
The king of worlds.
It's a question I don't know the answer to. I don't know if anyone here does. Are you allowed to demonstrate outside the palace?
No,
I don't think you are you?
You can't. You can't do anything in the royal parks. You can't do anything. For what you can do, Whitehall, Trafalgar Square, Parliament Square, but we're banned from.
Yeah, I've always wondered why no one has ever. I've never seen a demo outside Buckingham Palace.
You can't even march past it. You can't march past it.
Yeah, it makes sense.
But we're now banned from Trafalgar Square and Parliament Square because we were naughty boys and went over our time last time. So that was the excuse for them giving us Whitehall.
Oh wow! Yeah, I remember when we went over. I was there.
Do you remember those cops trying to get into the thing and
we were blocking the stairs.
We were just blocking the stairs, not letting them up. Me and Tom was standing there saying, we can't move. Tommy locked the door. Oh man, listen, I tell you what, the 13th is going to be absolutely mega. I can't wait for it. I can't wait. Get there Friday. It's just going to be patriotism. Oh, look at that. Let's get it on there.
Yeah, look out for this.
Proud to be one of that lot.
Oh, that's awesome.
That is absolutely beautiful.
Advance UK.
Brilliant.
Absolutely
that is
superb.
Sweet.
Where can I get one of them?
Well, I'll get you one if you want. I think what size are you?
Double extra large.
Treble XL.
Double XL. No, I'm not treble XL. I'm double XL. I haven't been working out, so that's why I'm not treble XL anymore.
I'll send you details, Richard.
Yeah, send me the details there, because I'd love one of them. I need a new jacket. So. Okay, let's get the bobbin and a little Bible quote. Therefore, do not be anxious about tomorrow, for tomorrow will be anxious for itself. Sufficient for the day is its own trouble. Matthew 6:34 from the Sermon on the Mount. Very, very wise words. Very wise words by our Lord there. And it's true, isn't it? So true. Do you know what? I think when you've been doing this for a while, you get that much stuff you get that much of a firestorm coming at you every single month. That you just go, can't be any worse than yesterday.
Yeah.
And it is.
We're not even really supposed to worry as Christians,
No. I remember a pastor. I was in a church one time, and a pastor said, "We've got to be warriors, not worriers," and it totally changed my life. That's why I'm the lunatic I am now, because he said, "Be a warrior, not a warrior."
It's so true. So true.
Yeah. Okay. What else have we got here? So Pinocchio Pete, keep up the great work, gentlemen. Get signed to restore and advance. God bless. Yeah, that's good advice. Sharon Ray, where do I get leaflets? I go round with leaflets. I'd love to be helpful. Well, there you go. Nice. Advanced guys, where can they get them?
Well, go on, Paul.
Yeah, there's a portal that's going to be available on the website very soon. If it's not already there, I'll have to have a look, actually, to be fair. But it's all in hand and it's on the way. That I can promise you.
I think there is another way of getting leaflets at the minute, isn't there? I think people can get leaflets from some other source, can they?
Yeah, you can do that. Obviously, you've got to be a member.
Yeah,
that's the most important. You've got to sign up to be a member. But we can actually, if you go to the Advance UK on Twitter feed, or you go to the website itself, there are links on there to get information. Ask information. I want to volunteer, and part of the volunteering thing is giving out leaflets.
Yeah, there you go, Sharon. If you go on the Advance UK website, find the necessary page, and hopefully that'll be good. So Thanks for that one, Sharon. Paul, good luck in the college, mate. Here's a pint. That's for you, Paul.
Thank you, Paul. Appreciate that, mate.
James Bond, please let me speak for 5 minutes next Saturday, or stop me at your whatever reason or excuse you require. Pro Deo, Patrick. Well, I mean, 007. Unless you're on the unless you're on the speakers list, 007, you ain't getting in, mate. Sorry. I've got. Do you know what? I've got to be a bit rude about that, because we have had from time to time charlatans, idiots, and lunatics trying to get into backstage and speak when they shouldn't have been speaking.
Oh my God, that guy! I know exactly what you're talking about too.
So at the end of the day, the only person that's allowed to gate crash the stage is me. So
he's ornery. So I thought Richard was the nicest guy until he stopped us in the middle of our march one time, and he put on. It was like, I was like Patton in the middle of the road directing everybody. All right, shut up, shut your mouths. We're going straight this way. I'm like, damn, who's this guy? I thought it was like Mr. Nice Guy.
No, I'm a horrible.
I was a little bit. I was scared there for a minute, Rich.
I'm not a nice guy at all. I never pretend to be a nice guy. I'm really not. But okay, Navan, did anyone see on YouTube the police woman shouting "Free Palestine"? Oh man, don't you just love the free pallies? Oh my word!
I didn't see that. Is that actually right?
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is, Paul. Listen,
wow.
I think that's happened before. Sure, we had police officers dressed up with Palestine, dressed up with Hammer stuff on them. I mean, for goodness' sake, So let's get it right. It's absolutely crazy. I mean, this is the only way. Advance is the only way we're going to deal with this, and it has to be a massive, massive overhaul, and it will cause massive convulsions. The mainstream media will be reaching for the smelling salts and the sick bags. They'll be vomiting everywhere. They'll be sweating. It's going to be absolutely horrific for the liberal elite. Hopefully, a lot of them will leave the country. Hopefully, a lot of them will go to prison. But it's got to be done. There's got to be a total clear out, a total, absolute clear out. To be honest, I feel both Richard and Paul should be involved more and seriously think about MP positions for their constituencies. You guys have the tools 100%. The problem is, Neil, I am a tool. That's the problem, mate.
Don't rule that out. Don't rule that out.
But you can't, if you're on the college, you can't be an MP. Paul Thorpe, how come you look younger than Danny? Neil, Danny's not on tonight, mate. He must have
Cheers, Neil. Thanks, Neil.
Must have been referring to last night. Don't give Paul compliments, guys. It's not good for him. Okay. Russell and Tommy podcast a much watch. I do need to catch up on that. Is it on YouTube? Is it actually on YouTube?
Part of it is, yeah. Part of it is.
Okay.
I watched it just before we came on.
Yeah.
I mean, Russell Brand can talk for England, but yeah, it was all right.
Yeah, I like Russell. I think he's all right. Well, as long as he's not what he's been accused of, but I suppose time will tell on that.
It's funny how they never get accused of that until they go to the right. Isn't
that amazing?
Yeah, that's why I don't believe it. I don't believe it. All these years have gone by, and you're accusing somebody of these heinous crimes with, women or whatever it is.
And why didn't this is the thing? I mean, no, do you know? I'm not going to go into it, but I mean, I think the reality is, like you say, it's amazing the way it comes out once they become famous right wingers. Before that, everything was buried in the sea of forgetfulness. Storm at a call an election if leadership challenged. Well, that would be interesting. That would be very interesting.
Well, here's the thing. Every single Labour MP, every single one of them must know that they're out of a job at the next. Yeah.
Yeah. The next election.
Election.
Paul, what's this? Do you know anything about this, Paul? Ian Nicholson.
I do.
Paul couldn't hit a barn door with a GPMG. Trust me, I know. Don, just for context, the GPMG in America is an M60, right? So it's something pretty similar to an M60.
Gotcha.
And come on, Paul, tell us what that's about, mate. Or is that going to?
Well, I used to shoot a lot. A lot. And I haven't shot for probably 10 years.
Yeah.
And last year we went and did a bit of clay pigeon shooting, and Ian was a bit in front of me. I'll give it to him, but he's regular going. I'm out, my eyes out. I haven't been for ages.
Yeah. Well, clay pigeon shooting is not real shooting anyway, is it? I mean, you know what I mean? It's not like it's not GPMG. Ian. Come on.
Yeah.
He couldn't resist that one, Ian. I'll have you back for that one. Don't worry about that.
Oh, man.
He has to write it because he's a Geordie. You can never understand what he says when he speaks. So.
Get a few gallons in your bike, mate. So, Paul, you're getting a lot here tonight. There's a
Paul,
tenner for Paul. Yep.
Thank you, Paul.
Kenny Wilson. If Jennifer's done define gender, how does we? Oh my word! If Graham Lenihan got arrested for what we said, we're all getting our collars felt on the 13th.
Kenny, if you're not in the UK, don't fly back.
And don't mention about hitting anybody in the genitals either, because that'll get you nicked too. You know?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, when you watch Blackadder and stuff from the past, Blackadder, Only Fools and Horses, and Minder, you can go on and on and on. Half of that lot will be in the nick today under this.
Oh, 100%. And most of them are lefties as well. If I've had police visit for email to local council. Tell us more about that, Neil, because that sounds quite interesting. What have they visited you for? Richard, yes, definitely join the Free Speech Union, Neil. If you've had cops at your house about that, definitely join the Free Speech Union, and they should help you 100%.
Hey, what do you guys think about, real quick, if you don't mind me? I'm curious to get your opinion on this. Is Starmer floating the idea of digital ID for the UK?
Oh,
you can imagine what we think of it. I mean, it's
Yeah. See, China, North Korea, Vietnam, Laos, Cuba, Venezuela. That's the way he wants to go.
And the UK.
Digital ID in the UK.
Oh,
we are on the slippery slope to that direction. That's what's happened to get total control of us. It all started during COVID and the lockdown. And so I'm afraid there's a lot of people doing it and putting in policies. I think one of them is actually we got Conservative 2, which is Reform. They got Nadine Dorries joining them.
Oh, I saw that. They're going to be nothing but another Tory party before it's over with. All these Tories keep coming over.
Exactly. Yeah.
But Nadine, the thing is about Nadine, right? I mean, there are some good people in the Tory party. There really are. I mean, Nick Timothy, Danny Kruger, I think it's a girl called Coutinho.
Claire Coutinho,
Suella Braverman, and even Liz Truss. I don't trust Jenrick. Sorry, guys, I don't trust Jenrick because what he did when we were doing the hotel protest, and he set the police and MI5 on us. So I don't trust Jenrick. And
he's also a Remainer.
Yeah. As was Truss, but I mean, people are supposed to have a right to change their mind. But no, Nadine Dorries is the author of the Online Safety Act.
Yes,
it was her act.
Yeah.
She was the culture minister. So Farage is saying he wants to abolish the internet harms legislation, and he's brought the cretin in that actually signed off on it, and had hope
that was my point, Richard. That's what I was going to say. So it's
sorry, I was getting
it's all right. I mean, I'm also working with people like Esther McVeigh and Priti Patel. I know she wasn't the greatest Home Secretary, but she's definitely a true Conservative. I promise you that. Yeah. And I think, we're looking at various people moving over. And, what Don just said, I mean, Reform is now becoming Conservative 2.0.
The Liberal Conservatives, though, it's all the Liberal Conservatives.
Yeah. That's right.
There's the other clampet, Jake Berry. It's all the wet Conservatives that are coming over to Reform, whereas the the proper Conservatives haven't made a move anywhere yet.
Well, here's what Nigel is calculating. He's calculating that when the Tories come over, he's going to get their constituents' votes. And then what he's going to end up doing is capitulating to those constituents. It's what always happens with these people. Yeah. So I don't know why you would do that. If you really want the platform you say you want, I don't see why you would do that.
Well, he doesn't, Don. He doesn't. He's a complete charlatan. It's as simple as that. He's a snake
I know that 100%.
He is not telling the truth. And again, we always have a barometer. Whatever you think about Tommy and say about Tommy publicly is pretty much gives a good indication of whether you've got moral fiber or not, whether you've got a bit of fortitude.
100%. I'm not of the opinion that everyone that I associate with has to love Tommy Robinson. But if they disavow him, that's a different. If they go out of their way to disavow, I don't expect everyone to love Tommy, right?
Yeah.
But if you go out of your way to disavow him, that tells me immediately you're not a patriot and you don't need to be part of our movement.
That's
agree.
Yeah, it's that sweet spot, because the ethno-Nats, the proper racists, the goose-stepping Nazis, they all hate Tommy. The left all hate Tommy. The centrists, like the wet Tories and the Farages, all hate him. The media all hate him. It's the genuine patriots that love Tommy because they know what he is.
100%.
And look, Tommy's not perfect, and sometimes he bugs the life out of me, right? That's just
he's
the truth.
a terrible driver, just so you
know.
But the only time I've been car sick in my life was when I was riding with Tommy Robinson. I'm not even kidding you. He will attest to this too.
Well, he drives extremely fast.
And
I'm not going to say it because I'm not.
It's like brakes, gas, brakes, gas.
Yeah.
Are you going? Are you going? Or are you stopping? Tommy, what are you doing?
It's
going like this.
It's the
if you don't have a drink before you get in the car with him, you have a drink after you get out of the car with him.
It's the Tommy test, I call it.
Yeah. It is.
Oh, 100%.
It is.
Great word for it.
Well, I was one of the probably the first person to put my head above the parapet, and I left Reform because I supported Tommy. I got a lot of press earlier in the year, as you know, and thank heavens for the independent guys like you people as well, people like Dan Wooten as well, and Hearts of Oak. I love
Dan Wooten, man, he's awesome.
And Maya Tusi and all those people, and and Maya gets married this Saturday, by the way. So going to that one will be fun. And I people couldn't believe it. I got so much. The fact they said, I'm not being big-headed here, but they said, Howard, you're bloody principled on this situation. And at that point, I didn't, and your point, Don's quite right. You don't have to like Tommy, but what he stands for, you've got to like. You cannot. And that was my position before I got to know him. As it happens now, I quite like the guy, but
You say Mayor's getting married on Saturday?
Yeah.
I wonder if he'll be doing the live Saturday evening.
I think he said he's going to live stream from the wedding. He said he's going to live stream from the wedding.
Probably from the reception. I'll be there if he is.
Not the honeymoon suite, Paul. I know you. I know Mrs. Thorpe's away, but you're not going to get that sort of action on Saturday night, Paul. It's not going to happen.
If you're watching, I'm only joking, mate. I'm only joking.
Maya's not watching. Maya's doing a live stream right now as we're speaking.
I'd like a nice mounted picture from the wedding, if not one holding hands to do.
You can always rely on Thorpe to lower the tone, can't you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Sorry, guys.
Anyway, Paul, you need to take a leaf out of Neil B's book. He visited his local church to pray for the first time in 20 years. And obviously Neil's been having this hassle from the police. So Neil, definitely join the Free Speech Union and definitely keep going to church. I love you guys. You cheer me up. That must be Paul, and that must be Paul Donnan.
Look at that beautiful picture, look.
I know, but that's what it's all about.
That's a good-looking baby.
That's
a beautiful little girl. Look at that.
That's what it's all about,
Cracker.
Yeah.
Oh,
God bless you, Sheila.
Okay. Mr. Bond. Good evening, Mr. Bond. James, listen, mate. I don't have power over who goes on the stage, and believe you me, no one's getting on the stage unless they're on the list. I'm sorry, mate. I do appreciate you the supers, but honestly, it's not the way it works. Unfortunately, there's everybody wants to be on the platform. Even Paul Thorpe's just been cancelled.
Yeah, there you go. I'm off.
But no, I'm seriously, James. Honestly, we can't just I get what you're saying.
That's not in Richard's remit, to be fair.
James, I'll tell you what to do in all seriousness, James. I'm having a bit of banter with you, but in all seriousness, what to do? Send us a message about what your issue is, and we'll see about if we can do some sort of video with you or something like that. If because we just can't. It is so difficult to accommodate everybody that wants to come and speak.
This one especially. This one's a whole different animal. It's a whole different animal.
It's tight because it's a global thing. It's all over.
Yeah.
So, let us know what you're talking. You'll not get on. Nobody's going to get on that platform on the 13th unless they're on that list. It's as simple as that. That's just the way it is. I'm not speaking, so I mean, nobody's going to get on there unless you're on the list. So, unfortunately, the answer to that is a no. But thanks for the super.
I am still here, by the way, guys. I'm still here.
That's a better picture of you, Paul. That's a better one, mate. You were looking a bit raggy there, mate.
You know what? That's about 10 years old, that picture.
Oh no, I'm on about the little emoji down at the end of this comment. It's not you, Paul, no?
Oh, there. What?
After Labour. After the word Labour, is that not you?
Yeah.
So we need to talk about we do need to, well, we talked about the Fabian Society already, but you know the fact that our country has been taken over by communists gradually over the past 30 years is in no small part due to the Fabian Society. They are in everywhere. I think that, I mean, I don't know what you think, guys, but should the Fabian Society be prescribed because it's so subversive?
Well, it's been around a long time.
It's definitely not democratic. You know, nope. In a free Western country, I don't think. Obviously, if you're a free Western country, you have to allow, you know what I mean, organizations like that. And just the same way we have to allow Satanists to parade down the street because we're such a free country in America. So I don't know how you would get rid of it legally.
Yeah, I must admit, I'm very loath to ban anything unless it's really necessary.
Same here.
Well, I mean, if the National Socialists, if the Nazis were basically having massive influence over the British government, would we want to ban them?
Of course, aren't they?
Yeah.
Aren't they?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, but I mean, you know, I mean, I'm thinking if there was a Nazi party, because obviously everyone goes about, you know, something like Patriotic Alternative or whatever. If they were having massive influence in the country, there'd be an absolute outcry about it. But this group.
Let me just give you an example here. Many years ago, I can't remember the exact year, there was a group of neo-Nazis that wanted to march through a village called Skokie here in the States, in Illinois. There were neo-Nazis. Skokie is a predominantly Jewish community, one of the largest Jewish community in the United States. The community, the city, would not allow these Nazis to march through with their Nazi flags and their hate speech and all that kind of stuff. So the Aryans took them to the Supreme Court. And because our Constitution is set up the way it is, and because we do have our freedom of speech is so, I don't know if you guys understand how strong our freedom of speech is in America. Our freedom of speech is so strong that the Supreme Court ruled in favor of the neo-Nazis to allow them to march through this Jewish village. Because once you start calling something hate speech, then who gets to define what that is? Every party that comes into power is going to say, nope, that's hate speech. They get to define it how they want. So you really never actually have free speech. So that's why I am so troubled by any banning of an organization like that. I even when, you know, and I got a lot of heat from conservatives over here because I said we shouldn't be burning the American flag when Trump said he wrote the executive order to, you know, keep from burning the American flag. I detest the people who burn the American flag. I detest the burning of the American flag, but, you know, I support the right of anybody for that is a form of free speech, but you know, whether you believe so or not, it is expression.
It's a fine line.
I agree with you on that, Don. I'm on the same page with that, 100%. Sorry, Paul, what you say, mate?
I think it's a very fine line. Sometimes I think you need to know who these people are. I mean, if I saw someone burning our flag, I'll be incensed, absolutely incensed, but I want to know who the enemy is.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. I agree with that 100%.
That's right. That's one of the things about crushing freedom of speech. You don't know. I think the thing about groups like the Fabians is they're basically semi-secret societies, but seem to be semi-sort of secret societies, and they do have an agenda to take over the country. So I think they should at least be monitored by you know the security.
Yeah, monitored. Yeah.
A lot of the security services are probably Fabians.
Yeah, I started talking about them about a year ago when I researched Keir Starmer and found out he was a member of the Fabian Society and found out what they were all about. They're a dastardly group of people, man. They really are.
Well, most of the cabinet is the Fabians in the Fabians.
Yeah. Oh, and your judges too. Your judges are too.
Yep. Broadcasters, you know, the people involved in the Quangos. I mean,
what a fantastic word, dastardly.
It's a good
one. That's
a
great word. That reminds me of Wacky Races.
Dick Dastardly and Muttley.
Dastardly.
I love Dick
Dastardly. Some
Dastardly.
Cartoon character that says, I think it's like Daffy Duck or somebody says, Dastardly.
Dastardly and Muttley. And do you remember the little criminal gang, the Anthill Mob? Oh dear. I spent too much time watching cartoons as a kid. Okay, thoughts on fatality tents. Any thoughts on these guys? These fatality tents, what they're for, what's going on?
Yeah, I don't want to go in one. That's my thought on that.
Not for a while anyway.
What is the fatality tent?
basically what's happened is there's been this leak that this government body has bought a whole lot of tenting and body bags and what have you for a major incident, and so
for war.
A war.
That's what it's about. It's to scare us into believing there's World War III's on its way.
Yeah.
And what do we have on Sunday? What do we have on Sunday, by the way? What's coming up this Sunday?
Oh, the emergency thing. Yeah. Yeah.
that stupid thing that buzzes on your phone.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm just going to keep mine turned off.
I just switch it off,
Same as. But I mean, listen, they got us all to go out and bang pots and pans for the NHS during COVID, for goodness sake. I mean,
yeah,
what a hoax, man!
It was unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. Oh dear. Hey Paul, are you on some anti-aging juice? Guys, stop bigging Paul up. Okay. That's all I'm going to say. I was going to say he's the oldest man in the room, but you might not be.
I'm afraid he's not.
I know.
It's me. I confess.
That's why I like coming on with Howard. I've got to be honest with you.
I knew it was that reason. Yeah. I wish I had your teeth. Yeah, I've never seen such white teeth.
Yeah, they're not my own. That's the trouble. I take them out and put them on the side when I go to bed. Buggers have wandered off the other night. I woke up in the morning, they're gone. The dog had jumped. I think the dog had had them. I come downstairs and he was looking at me, looking for his breakfast.
Yeah,
like that.
Bless.
So Neil, just want to read this on a serious note. Just read this from Neil again. Thanks for super. Richard, I suffer from severe PTSD, severe anxiety, and borderline personality disorder, which local police are aware of. I emailed the council on housing issues and mentioned the boats, and the police came out as a result of that. I'm guessing the police came out as a result of that. I mean, Neil, that is outrageous. If the police know about your conditions and they're coming out and causing you more anxiety and more distress, well, that's obviously completely out of order.
Yeah.
Again, just try. I know it's easy for us to sit here and say this, but there's nothing they can really do for you. Sorry, they can't do anything to you for sending an email to the council mentioning the boats. They might not like it, but they've got no. And if you don't feel comfortable with the police coming out to your house and you haven't nothing wrong, just very politely ask them not to come out unless there's a reason for them to come out. I think you're within your rights to do that, and don't be abusive with them. But I think that's outrageous what they're doing to you. To be honest with you, Neil.
Neil, can I just offer a little bit of advice to you there, Neil? Was with the PTSD and the anxiety. If you're angry, Neil, and you're going to write an email, do me a favour, mate. Before you send it, sleep on that email, and then send it the next day. So before you send anything, just sleep on it, read it the next morning, and see if you're still happy with it. If you're still happy with it, fine. But don't let these people get to you, mate. Join the Free Speech Union as well. And obviously, keep us in touch with how you get along. But keep your chin up, brother, honestly. Yeah.
And keep jumping on this. Neil, because obviously this is we're not psychiatrists, but we're just lads that come on and like to have a laugh and want to cheer people up, but we want to talk about serious things in a light-hearted way. So if it helps you, just tune in every time we're on, Neil, and that's what we do this for, because we know. I mean, I had 2 people down on the demo on Friday, really lovely people, very well turned out, middle-aged people, and they came up and said, "Richard, we're terrified for our grandkids, terrified for our kids. We're absolutely terrified about what's happening in the country." And I said, "Well, look, we've got a plan, so you don't have to be terrified." Because honestly, before Advance launched, I was thinking there's only one way this is going to end, and it wasn't good. It was not good. And since Advance launched, it's given me real hope that we're not going to go down a nightmarish scenario of something absolutely catastrophic happening in the country. I think honestly, if Advance don't win, we're in a really, really bad situation. I think if Advance don't win the next election. But I'm convinced that they're going to win. I'm absolutely convinced of it. So yeah, keep fighting through, Neil. I don't know if you're an ex-military lad, but keep fighting through. Okay. Ben for PM, Rupert for Home Secretary. I quite fancy Howard as Home Secretary, to be honest with you. And Paul as Chancellor of the Exchequer.
You know what I want to be? I want to be the ambassador to the UK. That's what
100%. You got the job, mate. You've got the job.
That's it.
You're in.
That would be absolutely superb.
Yeah. If Ben becomes prime minister, I'm going to see if he can make a play for me to be in there. Maybe put a little word in with Trump or Vance.
Here's an important one. What do we do about the judiciary? What do we actually do with the judiciary when you think about the way they ruled against the British government took the British people to court, and the court ruled against the British people on Monday. We're talking about obviously this ruling for the hotels. Yeah. What do you do when do you know what? Does anyone know the song by Bob Dylan, 7 Curses? Does anyone know that song? Yeah. Howard knows it, right? Brilliant song, right? And it's about this corrupt judge in America that basically takes advantage of a young girl and then hangs her father, right? That's what it's about. And that could be talking about our judiciary, because that's how corrupt they are.
Mm-hmm. So corrupt.
So if you don't know the song 7 Curses, go on to YouTube, type in 7 Curses.
Never check that out. Never heard it.
Oh, it's brilliant. Bob Dylan, 1963. It's an absolute classic. You got to listen to that song. It's not as good as the Men of England, but it's okay.
I was 10 years old. Yeah.
I wasn't even a twinkle in my father's eye.
Oh yeah, don't rub it in.
No, but you're my mother's age. I didn't know. You didn't know that wrong.
Oh, shut up! The way you put that. Yeah. But I actually saw an example of two-tier judgment this weekend, or just got to it. As you know where I'm going with Noel Wilcox.
Yeah, good Noel.
Let me just explain for people that Noel Wilcox is a scaffolder, a businessman, a small businessman, and he's taken on Transport for London a big time in 3 court cases. And the first 2 court cases he won on the basis that the low emission zone, which is the one for commercial vehicles, and the ultra low emission zone for cars in London, the signs are unlawful. And he's proved it, and 2 judges have agreed with him because he refuses to pay something like £11,000 worth of penalty notices. And this is his 3rd court case, and the defendants, which is Transport for London, don't deny that the signs are unlawful, but they're on a procedural basis. They use things like, we have administrative errors. It's not on the side of Noel. Noel was brilliant. He defended himself superbly. But the judge yesterday simply said, we can't actually, he's not going to rule in the favour. He went against Noel on 2 bases. One is that if the ULEZ and LES was actually disbanded at the moment, it would cost billions to pay the money back, and they go bankrupt. That's one. And the second thing, and guess what? Because the impact on air quality, and you just sit there in amazement. I sat in that court, my bottom of my jaw just hit the table, and I just couldn't believe it. And this is what I'm saying about that. If this is factual, these signs are illegal. Therefore, Noel has won, irrespective of damn if TfL go bust. Their fault.
That's not Noel's problem, is it?
No, they won simply because they got more money, more clout, more legal advice. Noel was on his own, and I say everyone listen to this guy. Please go and find out about Noel Wilcox, because he is a Trojan. The sad thing about him, he's still a member of Reform. But
listen, he will. When he gets no backing from the head shed and they just ignore him, then he'll realise that he's got to see the light, and he's got to come over to the truth. You know what I mean? It's as simple as that. Noel will be in advance by Christmas, 100%. He's going to be.
No, he's a top guy, and
he's a gentleman, and he's a veteran. He's an army veteran. He served in Iraq.
I desperately want to see Noel over at Advance.
Yeah. I think it'd come. What I mean, if you're talking to Noel, Howard, get him to set up a GoFundMe and we'll promote it. Yeah,
100%
to pay for his fees. So
we are talking. I'm working with him. Yeah. I've been there right from the beginning. I've got the papers involved, the media to help him. But unfortunately, there's another example. Let's go back to the mainstream media. They are just not. They're ignoring this. You think September the 13th? How much would that be? A front page? 1 million people in Whitehall?
Should be.
But it won't be.
No, it
There
won't.
will be a little picture and for about a little column, but it won't be dominating every front page. And that's so sad. And
do you know what? How there'll be an unofficial D notice on it, so it'll be just we don't talk about this. That's what they do. There is on Tommy. There's an unofficial D notice, and I, for the life of me, cannot find any reason for it. So just so I don't know if you know what a D notice is.
I don't. What is
it? Right.
It?
Okay. A D notice is basically they just don't talk. That they do not talk about a certain subject. So all the editors, the security services get the editors in a room and they say we don't want anyone talking about this for national security reasons, and nobody talks about it in the press.
Really?
Yeah, 100%. That's why they hate what we do, because obviously we don't operate on their rules.
Oh yeah. We're the media now.
Well, it's interesting because from a point of view, and Ben is suffering this, and Rupert's suffering this, and I, to some extent, suffering this, is that I used to be on Talk TV all the time and GB News all the time. We've been dropped because of our position. And don't forget, Nigel Farage, basically, he doesn't own GB News, but he basically he might as well, exactly. Yeah. I mean, I used to write for The Sun, and as soon as I declared I was with Reform, they dropped me, and now... Now Reform are high in the polls. The Sun have double-page spreads of Nigel. You know, the hypocrisy, and I hate that. I get very cynical about this, and because I represent 37 million drivers in this country, and it's as simple as that. It's nothing to do with politics. It's the issues we should be talking about. Yeah. Thank heavens there are some good people in GB News and Talk TV. I'm still involved, but Ben and Rupert have been dropped. They were on virtually every day.
Yeah,
I'm suspicious of anybody that the media is in love with. I don't even care about the media. The mainstream media is in love with somebody. That's something, and there's no deviation there when they're like all on board with the same guy. Something is amiss there. I'm always suspicious of that.
Yeah.
No, I totally agree.
Good point.
Glynis is saying they can stuff their digital ID. Can't wait for the 13th. Well, we'll see you there, Glynis. It is going to be someday, and I tell you what, I am really, really, I think it's just going to be one of those events that, you're just going to be glad you were there. Whatever way you're taking part, just be glad that you're there.
What I've decided to do, Richard, on the day is that I'm going to set up a live stream and do a stream for everyone that can't be there.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
We can be there in spirit and in,
Oh, that's awesome. That's actually a really good idea.
Do you know what, Paul? If you could get to a pub in Benidorm and get a whole lot of expats that want to be there together, and get the thing on you could even broadcast from a boozer somewhere. Do you know what I mean? In Benidorm,
there's no pubs in Benidorm.
Is there not? No.
I've been to Benidorm, pal.
Yeah. You know what you should do? You should go to that little loyalist one, the little one on the just up towards that thing overlooking the bay. The little loyalist pub. They would accommodate you there, mate. 100%. Are we doing the YMCA, Don? Don, are you doing the YMCA?
We're doing a little something different this time. I don't think we're going to have time for the YMCA. I've been asked about that by a few people, actually. We're going to be doing the YMCA. So unless there's some time at the very last or something, I don't foresee us doing it, although I would love to. Not going to be a YMCA this time, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But thanks.
Well, anyway, the thing is, remember, no plan survives contact with Tommy. So, I mean, there's an old military saying, no plan survives contact with the enemy. No plan survives contact with Tommy. So anything might happen, Don. Do you know what I mean? You might end up doing the YMCA.
You never know. You never know. If enough people protest, maybe we have a protest within the protest.
God, as long as it doesn't involve Richard doing a striptease, I'm sure it'll go all right.
Behave yourself. And listen, they couldn't pay me enough to do that. That's a big fee. That's a big fee for me taking my clothes off.
You can get all of West Hollywood to show up for that.
Anyone going from Somerset 13th? I Hate Meds can go. Okay. James Bond, wait until you meet the real James Bond. You'll meet her on the 13th. I'm on the list. Tell Tommy. Okay. Oh, man. I couldn't send you love, guys and girls, because of YouTube restrictions. What a shame. I can't send a message of love. This is Starmer's world. Unbelievable.
What does that mean?
I don't know. The recent judge in case is a Fabian Society guy. So the Epping case, so he's a Fabian as well. He's a Fabian. And that's what I'm saying. I think the Fabians need to be really seriously looked at. I had a visit. The police asked me if I was radicalized. Joe Biden and the Democrats are to blame for all this. What do you think about that, Don? Joe Biden and the Democrats?
I don't disagree with that, because as the United States goes, the rest of the world goes.
Yeah, exactly.
100%. Regardless of it happens to be the United States right now, but if you just look through history, as the most powerful nation in the world goes, so goes the rest of the world, especially when it comes to the West. So no, I don't disagree with that at all. We infected the world. The woke culture here, Biden and Harris and that whole administration, wasn't even Biden. Let's be honest. Biden was out of it. He was, cognitive decline the entire time. Really no cognition there, to be honest with you. But it was all calculated. They knew what they were doing. If you look, when in history has a nation invited its conquerors into its shores, let alone every single Western nation on earth, while at the same time embracing gender dysphoria, a mental disorder, throughout those same Western nations? So yeah, it was a calculated deal. It probably started here with Obama, if you want to be the truth of it, because the Biden administration was the Obama administration, basically. Yeah. You had Obama. People from the Obama administration infected the Biden administration and so forth. And so, all of that was influence on the rest of the West, 100%.
And Don, from the point of view of the states, what's going to happen? What's going to happen when's your next election? 2029 as well, is it? You 2029?
2029, yeah.
Yeah,
no,
so
2028.
2028.
Yeah.
What's going to happen, Don? Are you guys going to hold on? I mean, is
I think so, because J.D. Vance is one of the best vice president I've seen in my lifetime.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
Most of our vice presidents are silent participants in the administration, right? You never hear from them. They're always in the back somewhere, maybe attending a fundraiser here or there, substituting for the president when he can't show up. For the most part, they're always. J.D. Vance is front and center. He's very vocal. He's very. He's just always there, and he's just like his delivery is different than Trump, because he's a Yale guy, graduated from Yale, but I think he's on board with everything Trump does. He's vocal about it. And I'll tell you who else I'm impressed with too is our Secretary of State, Marco Rubio.
Yeah.
He's really impressive. I used to didn't be a Rubio fan. I always thought he was like part Rhino, but now he's really turned out to be something. So I think we might see a J.D. Vance, Marco Rubio ticket.
Wow.
In our next election.
And J.D. Vance is young too. So that's what I like about it, and I'll tell you what, the people I talk to over here, they all like J.D. Vance. In fact, they say more than Trump. He comes, especially he's having a go at our free speech problems over here, and so he's got a lot of support.
Well, he doesn't come with the sort of what the media likes to emphasize about Trump, the personal baggage from the past that they all like to beat him to death over. So J.D. Vance doesn't come with all that. He comes with sort of a clean slate. Very well-spoken guy. He's a gentleman, but he tells it exactly like it is, and he's not afraid to speak his mind. He doesn't straddle the fence. He doesn't waver on issues to appease any one group or the other. So from a ideological standpoint and a political standpoint, I think he's a lot like Trump. In fact, just like Trump, except for maybe the demeanor and the delivery when it comes to Vance.
And the hair.
And what about the defense secretary? Do you know what I mean, Don? Your defense guy?
Oh, you're talking about Pete Hegseth?
Pete, yeah.
Yeah, I like Pete a lot. He's a patriot, man. He was a warrior as well. So he's a great guy, and he was instrumental in helping get this wokeness out of the military as well. And he got rid of a lot of those holdovers from the last administration. Now, unfortunately, there's so many people in the federal government, you can't weed them all out. You know who's been really good about weeding out people in our federal government and getting rid of the woke holdovers is Laura Loomer. She has been outstanding, and the president listens to her reporting. Like almost every other day, she's reporting on something that the next day you'll see that the administration acted on it and removed someone that Laura Loomer reported on. So Laura Loomer is a great patriot, man. She doesn't get the credit she deserves. But
and she was mega cancelled, wasn't she, Don? She was cancelled by under Biden, wasn't she?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
big time. Yeah, big time. She was canceled pretty much everywhere until recently. She started, but her reporting is just God. She's one of the best. I think she's the best reporter right now in the United States.
Wow.
I'm talking about mainstream. I'm talking about independent media. Laura Loomer is the best reporter in the United States right now. 100%.
Yeah. So you're thinking it's looking good for the next election for you guys, because what we need is continuity.
If we continue on this trajectory, if we can keep the immigration down, if we can. Now the problem is we have to fight the deep state and the courts at the same time, because we have a lot of wokies in our court system too. It's infested with them because Biden was able to appoint a lot of federal judges during his administration. So Trump right now, every decision that he makes is a lawsuit that Trump has to fight before we can implement it. Just like, we've got guys like this Boesberg, who's a terrible woke left, all these other judges who are blocking his executive orders so that he can't implement them. And then what happens is it takes us some time. So you're really hamstringing the administration and getting in the way of what he could be doing for our country because of your left woke agenda. But ultimately it gets to the Supreme Court. And what has been happening is the Supreme Court has been overturning these lower courts because they see that it's judicial tyranny is what it is.
Yeah.
So, I think if we can just maintain this trajectory, if we can keep the economy steady and even, keep seeing prices go down, we can keep seeing inflation go down. If we can get the Federal Reserve and Jerome Powell to drop these interest rates where they should be, where the rest of the world's going. We have the highest interest rates. It should be the lowest, quite frankly, because everyone's economy is doing well right now. And our Federal Reserve guy, because I think he's a never Trumper, is keeping our inflation right to hurt the economy and hurt the Trump name, to hurt the Trump administration.
Evil. Evil, isn't it?
Hey, Trump fights on all battlefronts. His administration fights on all battlefronts. It's the most evil thing I've ever seen, this deep state and this judicial tyranny that we have here. But that's what Trump fights. And if he can manage to do that and just stay where we're at now, I think even the people who may have voted for Biden and Obama before, a lot of those people we're seeing are coming on board now and going, God, this is what we need. Because what happened was the Democrats, they just went so far left. They just went insane. And like normal people, they see this and they go, what in the hell are you guys doing? This isn't the Democratic Party of my father. And so they're all moving over here to the right, and because they realize that the Biden administration, the rest of these Democrats are just fools, man. And they're like children. They're really like children playing children's games. You can, if you want to be a boy, you can be a boy. If you want to be a girl, you can be a girl. It's really insane. It's like children. It really is. And I mean, sane people, they don't go for that kind of stuff. You know,
terrible thought is done as well. If Kamala had won the election,
oh my God,
can you imagine them? We'd be. There would be nobody standing up for us. I think the whole world. I think we'd have lost the world if Trump hadn't won.
Yeah, it was so massive. They just couldn't. They just couldn't put the people in position. They couldn't put the game in play. They would have needed to overcome that massive of a victory. I mean, it was an enormous victory.
That's what we need.
And plus they knew the scrutiny was going to be there because of the last election. They didn't know who was going to be at these polls. They didn't know who the feds were going to have in the polls, or what was going, who local government were going to have at these polls as observers. So I don't think they were willing to risk it this time. And plus, she was a really poor candidate. I mean, she was paying Beyonce and Cardi B millions of dollars to get on the stage and shake their asses. That's the kind of person. That's what we were dealing with Kamala Harris at her campaign. She was just a real idiot, and she appeared to be drunk. I heard she has a real alcohol problem, but she appeared to be drunk every time she spoke. And the American people, she just turned everyone. She was just she's real. Did you ever hear these words? Salads that she would come up with. It was just insane. What was it? Something about the burden. Be unburdened by the past. I can't remember something.
I mean, she wasn't even doing long form podcasts. I mean, Trump was going on with Rogan and doing 2 hours, right?
Because of Barron. Because of Barron, his son told him he needed to do that, which was a masterstroke by his son. And in fact, he listened to him.
Do you know what? I mean, that's the sort of thing that we've got to keep going with the social. We've got to build our social media platforms up, because that's the only way we're going to do it.
It's so
we ain't going to get the mainstream.
And so that's why I tell Tom, I'm just going to ride your coattails. Because the bigger my account gets, the bigger my voice gets for you, and the bigger everybody else account gets that follows you, the bigger their voices get for you in the movement. You know what I mean?
So Don, that's what me and Paul and David Vance did it this week, and me and Paul's done it quite a bit over the last year or so, haven't we, Paul? Where we just shared, and obviously Paul's got a lot bigger following than me because I've been cancelled forever. But the truth is, if we like cross pollinate between all our channels and start properly sharing, it definitely makes a difference, because there's going to be people watching my channel that don't watch Paul's and so on and so forth. And it's the way to go. And I think the more people we can do this with, the more chance we've got of, instead of going to like 100,000, the other night we had potentially 600,000, wasn't it, Paul, between you, David, and my channel? That was just YouTube.
It's work. I don't think people who just like maybe scroll and try to get their information, I don't think people realize how much work this is. It's a lot of work. So if you can do that, if you can promote other channels, my problem is I'm so busy with everything. It's so hard to do anything but post news. So I have to remind myself to go through folks that I like, follow, repost, and do all that kind of stuff, because it's just so involved. It really has
totally
a second job.
I'm very saddened by the fact that I've followed Don about 3 months ago, but he hasn't followed me back.
I'm gonna go right now and follow you.
You got to, Don. You got to, because this guy saved the country billions.
What is your what's your handle, Howard?
It's Howard CCOX. Howard CCOX.
Paul
Howard CC
OX.
OX. Oh, OX. CC.
I'm Howard Cox. That's my name, sir.
Oh, so you've got you got 35.7 thousand. See, I require people to have 36,000 before I follow them. So
that's what it is.
And I remember when you only had 5,000, Don.
Oh no, crazy, man! I got you, man. I just followed you, so yeah. I'm sorry about that, man. It's just you just don't see them all. It's just there's so many. I just don't see them all.
I get it. Don't worry.
Paul, has Gandalf brewed you some handsome elixir? What's with all this man love tonight? I mean, I'm feeling a bit uncomfortable with all this. This isn't my sort of scene, Paul. What's going on with all these fellas? All these romances going on.
David's my brother, really. He's just being kind.
We've got a lot of philosophy tonight. Here we go with Bob Hunter with Marcus Aurelius. The soul becomes dyed with the colour of its thoughts. You can't beat those old Roman philosophers, can you? Okay. James Bond.
Well, it's better than the old Cockney ones. Don't eat yellow snow. I mean, that's a bit obvious, that one, isn't it,
It's very true, though. It's very true. Would you let Fred speak? He will be my CPO. So that's either Charlie Veach or Charlie. I don't know. Someone that's subcontracting Fred from. Do you follow Charlie Veach, Don? Do you know who?
Yes, I love him, man. I love that guy. He's awesome. He's really good.
He is absolutely ballsy.
Yeah. Is he going to be there on the 13th? Is he going to be there?
I don't know.
I would imagine so.
He'll be there.
I'm a bit worried about Fred, though. I've got to be honest with you.
Yeah. Did you watch the thing with Liam?
Yes. Yeah, I'm a bit worried about Fred. He's making himself a bit of a target, I fear.
Listen, he's young enough to be breakable. You know what I mean? At his age, he can get fixed if he gets an injury. Not like us, where you know. Paul, take a break and take a step backwards, my friend. Please look after yourself, Paul. I worry for your mental health, brother. Respect. That's nice. That's nice.
I'm gonna have to bounce, guys.
Yeah, go for it, Don.
It's been such a pleasure, and I really appreciate you reaching out and having me on.
No, Don, and listen, thanks for coming on, man. Because again, it's like, do you know, it's like we all get in our own bubbles and we forget about everybody, and then you see someone, you go, because I just saw you bigging up Advanced Thought, man. We've got to get Don on here because.
Oh, thanks,
and you've
man.
done so, Don. You have done more for our country than a lot of people that live in our country. And I mean,
thank you, man.
Brother,
thank you. You're great. You're great guys. I love your country, man. I love the people.
You've been a great friend and loyal supporter of Tommy for many years as well. And
he's a great guy.
Respect to you, brother.
Yeah, thank you, man. Great to see you all. Paul,
and listen, I'll get a pint with you on the Friday for sure.
It, man. See you, man. That'll be good.
Okay, take it easy. Take it easy.
Take
it easy. Okay.
And then there were three.
Then there were three. I want to rattle through these super chats. I think that's the only problem when we do a joint live. Then they'll be going to you, Paul, but they're just all bouncing into my account. So I want to go through them all. Okay, Fred.
I don't know, Richard. Hopefully, plenty of them will be yours as well.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know.
I don't know. You can't tell, can you? That's the thing. You can't tell when they're coming in. Thick and fast like that. But let's go through. And again, guys, everyone doing the super chats, massively appreciate them because, again, I mean, believe you me, they are massively appreciated. And I'm not going to say any more than that. Really makes a big difference. Paul, take a break. We've done that one. Paul, if anyone can afford to join Advance, give me your name and I'll join you. Only two. Do you know what? That's something I'm going to do as well. There was a guy gave me. Now we've got to try and do it before we hit the 30,000 because I was talking to Ben today. There was a guy gave me 50 quid. Now at the minute that gets us 5 memberships, right? If we hit 30,000, what's it go to 25, Howard? If we hit 30,000, £25 a membership.
I think it's going up to 30.
Oh, 30, right, boy. So it's only one and a half membership. So I'm going to do something probably tomorrow. Hopefully it'll be time. I'll do it in the morning and I'll do a little video and I'll put a link in that you can go to and give me your email address. And the first 5 people to send me their email addresses, I'll basically gift you a membership. As long as we haven't hit 30,000. If we hit 30,000, it's going to be 1.5 memberships, whatever that works out. But and again, I put the guy that gave me the money for that. I apologize for not doing it sooner. I didn't actually expect us to be hitting the 30,000 near this week, but we'll see what happens. And if the guy's watching, I'll see you tomorrow night. So okay, let's keep cracking on with this. The commie rats are in charge for the moment. That's going to change. That's what we're about. My cat's gay. Oh dear. Van Slow, Lennon, Davies, Hopkins. They don't bomb power stations, TV stations, or banks. Pro Dio.
It's James Bond again.
James Bond again. Yeah, James Bond. Okay, we're going to go back to the top because we missed some of these. So, 4 Legends, thank you for the encouragement. Thank you very much for that, Rude Girl. Don's more English than many of the buggers here. That is very true. Don's absolutely superb. I joined Advance. We did that one. Big Love Richard. Yeah, we've done all the rest of them. Guys, yeah, joined Advance. Guys, thanks very much for all of these super chats. Massively, massively appreciated. It's nearly 1 o'clock in the morning where Paul is. It's 10 to 12 where me and Howard are. And luckily I had a couple of Pro Plus before I did the interview with Ben because I was feeling a bit tired. So that's as strong as it gets for me when it comes to take anything, any substance that's a stimulant. Nothing else. Pro Plus is about as far as I'll go. And that was just because I was doing an interview with Ben. I thought I better be on absolute top form for this. And did you watch it, Paul? Did you watch the interview?
Joe, I haven't had a chance, mate. I've been so busy today that I've run out of 2 batteries.
Yeah. I haven't even watched it back.
There you go. But I will watch it in the morning.
Yeah. Well, guys, listen.
Me too.
Let's wrap this up. Again, everybody, thanks so much for watching. Sorry I didn't get into that. I mean, we've got 2,600 comments there tonight. Guys, thanks so much for the interaction. It's absolutely superb. And we'll do it all again very, very soon. But this is building again, Paul. This is building again.
It is indeed.
It's getting really exciting. I mean, when you think about the position we were in sort of in February time with all those lunatics, things were very, very difficult. And now, we're back on the crest of a wave. So let's hope it stays like that. Yeah. Jimbo, you're scaring me with that mask on, mate. Just, hope that's a mask. Anyway. Right. On that note, Paul, it's good night from me.
Good night from me. And thank you to everyone.
Howard.
Yeah, it's been a huge pleasure. Thanks, guys, for having me on. See you soon.
Guys, if you can't make the 13th, put a note in your diary. We'll be there together.
Yeah. Look, I mean, do you know what they're doing in Northern Ireland? Because obviously not everyone from Northern Ireland can actually manage to get over. So what they're doing is they're actually putting on an event in Northern Ireland at the same time. They're doing one exactly the same.
I need to be able to live stream the event so that I can sit in the corner and we can watch together. So I'll have to try and work out logistics of that one.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, right, guys, listen, we're going to shoot off. Thanks very much for the mods. Again, I haven't looked at the chat, so I don't know whether I'm sure you've been getting rid of all the baddies. And we'll do it all again really soon. Maybe even tomorrow night, Paul. Who knows? We might jump on
very
tomorrow.
Possibly. Yeah. I might have a special guest that is available tomorrow. Hopefully. Oh no, not tomorrow. No, it won't be tomorrow. But it's very soon.
Great stuff. And Howard, thanks so much for jumping on at short notice. And it's always a pleasure. And we always have a laugh, don't we?
All right. See you soon, guys.
God bless all. Take it easy. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Bye-bye.